Hello and welcome again to Chris's Caribbean Delights. And it's the pumpkin season, and we're going to do lots of stuff with pumpkins this season. They have the pumpkin fritters, the pumpkin soup, the pumpkin scones. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to do some pumpkin scones. And they're a nice treat for breakfast or brunch or a snack anytime during the day. So let's go to those ingredients and make some pumpkin scones. Here are the ingredients. So here are our dry ingredients. I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour here. I have a quarter teaspoon of baking soda and 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. We have some cinnamon. We have two teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of salt, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and we have here a quarter cup of granulated sugar and a quarter cup of light brown sugar, some pumpkin spice, a tablespoon of pumpkin spice mix, some frozen butter. I have the butter. I cut the butter up into cubes, and then I put them in the freezer for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to just rest it back. I took them out maybe just a little while ago. And then this is the pumpkin puree, which you can buy in the store or which you can make at home. I have here a tablespoon of vanilla essence, vanilla extract, 1 egg, and a quarter cup of heavy cream. So let's put our dry ingredients together, and then we'll go from there and mix the wet ingredients. So we're going to start by adding this baking soda and the baking powder. The granulated sugar goes into the dry ingredients, the flour here. Quarter teaspoon of salt, the cinnamon, the pumpkin spice mix. The brown sugar is going to go in with the puree, with the pumpkin spice puree. So let's give this a whisk. Get it all incorporated and all mixed. Then we'll set this aside. We'll set it aside. Now we'll get our wet ingredients all into the bowl here. Now for the wet ingredients. Let's put our pumpkin spice puree, our pumpkin puree in there. And this is a cup and a half of pumpkin puree. We'll get that egg in there. The vanilla. Get our brown sugar in there. Cream. Get the cream in there. And then we'll give this a whisk. Whisk to combine. Whisk it to combine. make sure that everything gets nice and smooth. See, it's nice and smooth here. And then we'll set this aside and go back to our dry ingredients now. For the dry ingredients, again, we're going to now add the flour. We're going to now add to the flour, we're going to add the butter. We're going to just get the butter in there. And I'll use a pastry cutter to cut the butter into the flour, because the butter has to be cut into the flour and until you get it like if you're making a pastry, you get it like a peas consistency, pea size. So we'll get a pastry cutter and we'll work on that now. I got me a pastry cutter here. Then we're going to just cut the butter into the flour. As you can see, there's these little lumps, pea-sized lumps in here. That's exactly what you're going for. And once you have achieved that, the little pea-sized lumps that you got in there, add the pumpkin mixture to the flour. Has a wonderful aroma. Smells delicious already. And we'll fold the liquid, fold this pumpkin mixture into the flour. And we're going to gently fold this until all the flour is moist. That is getting, until the flour is moist and absorbs the pumpkin mixture. And we don't want to over mix it because we don't want to develop any gluten in there. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is going to take a minute or so because I'm just going to do it really slowly and carefully, and I'll be back. As you can see, there are no flour pockets or any dry flour around. So all the flour has been absorbed into the liquid. It's going to be a little sticky. It's going to be a sticky dough. So you're going to turn it out onto a well floured surface. I'm using my baking mat here. Makes it a little easier. So we'll just turn this out onto the baking mat, onto the well-floured baking mat. Maybe you're working with a really sticky dough here. So then we're gonna flour our hands. Get some well-floured hands and get it all off here, because we're going to pat this into an 8-inch square. Get some more flour in your hands here, a little extra on the side. once you an 8-inch square, and you can get the measurements from your mat. So if you have one of these mats, or you can just eyeball it. Then you might want to check the bottom to make sure that, you know, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Just give it a flip over. I just like to flip it over just to make sure that the bottom isn't sticking to the mat. So we got a nice little 8-inch square here. And you prepare your pans. I have a pan prepared that's lined with some parchment paper. So we're gonna get our pan, and then we're gonna slice this guy up into triangles. I'll be back. So here we are. We have our 8-inch square here. I'm going to divide, we're going to cut this in half. Cut it in half, and cut it in half again. And these squares, we're going to cut them in triangles. I'm going to try to get a couple of triangles out of here. Like that. They're going to be some big scones, but hey. Oops, stay there, boy. Let's see if we can do this here. Maybe we can get another one over here. You can make them how big or how small you want them. So we got a couple of big ones and a couple of small ones. So here's my pan here. And you know I'm still gonna spray this paper with some non-stick spray. Just make sure they're separated so that we can place them on the pan. Okay, let's get them. There we go. This is a big guy. Just take your time. Get a spatula to help you lift them off. There we go. So we have them all in our pan. We had 3 and 3, 6 and 3, 9. We got 10 of them. So we clear that. Now we're going to paint these guys with some heavy cream, and that's going to give it a nice smooth finish. Nice smooth finish. So let's take our time and paint them with the heavy cream. Then we'll, at the end, once they're cool, we're going to give them some frosting. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that, painting them, and I'll be back. So with the oven at 400, preset to 400, we're just going to go ahead and put these in there for 20 minutes. 20 minutes if you want a nice soft scone, or 25 minutes if you want a nice kind of crispy scone. What we'll do, I'll go right in between there, 20 to 25 minutes, and I'll see. Once I put my toothpick in there and it comes out clean, I'll just take them out. So let's go ahead and place them all in there. See you in 20 minutes. The glaze I usually make is very simple. I have like 3 tablespoons of heavy cream in here, and I'll use some powdered sugar. Two tablespoons of powdered sugar. And I'll give this a mix. You can just let it stir so that the sugar can melt into the cream. And when it gets to the consistency that you want, you just stop adding the powdered sugar. So it's going to thicken up. So like this. Need a few more teaspoons here and a few more tablespoons. So I'm getting the consistency that I want, that I need, and you see it's nice and runny. It needs to be just drizzled over the scones once the scones are done. I just kept adding the powdered sugar until I get the consistency. I'll just add a little more. I just want it a little thicker so that I can pipe it. I'll pipe it, onto the scones once the scones are done. That's it. Yeah, you can even drizzle it with with a spoon or something. But that's good. That's what I want. Okay? That's the consistency I want. So let's check on our scones. They should be done by now. The big guys are going to take a little longer, I think, but it's coming out clean. They're done. They're coming out clean. Nice and clean. Nice and clean. Perfect. So there we are. So we're gonna let these cool before we drizzle the icing on there, because you have to get a little icing on there to decorate it a little. So I'll be back. And this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna just drizzle our icing from side to side, and just let it run down the sides if it wants to. But you have to do it when the scones are cool. And there you have it. Our pumpkin scones. Bon appetit. The wonderful pumpkin scones. Oh my goodness. I'm giving the taste test here. Nice and soft. Delicate. A lovely pumpkin color in there. Have it with some coffee, tea, as a snack. It's delicious. Two thumbs up. Where are you? Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next clip. Bon appetit. Thank you for watching.